going live now, so.
All
Yeah.
right.
Hi, so it's time for Grandma Reads a Story, and I have Grandma Sanada here today, and this program is a joint program with the Foster Grandparents Program of Oakland County, sponsored by Catholic Charities of Southeastern Michigan and the Pontiac Public Library. So, let's
Hi,
get the
friends.
story.
I'm with Grandma Reads a Story. I'm with you again. Are you doing good today, friends? We're glad to be here with you. Our first story that I'm going to read is Owl Moon, and it's by Jane Yolen and illustrated by John Schooner. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind, the trees stood still, a giant statue, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. I could hear it through the woolen cap Pa had pulled down over my ears. A farm dog answered the train, and then a second dog joined in. They sang out, train and dog, for a real long time. And when their voices faded away, it was as quiet as a dream. We walked on toward the woods, Pa and I. Our feet crunched over the crisp snow, and little gray footprints followed us. Pa made a long shadow, but mine was short and round. I had to run after him even now, and no, every now and then to keep up. And my short, round shadow bumped after me. But I never called out. If you go owling, you have to be quiet. That's what Pa always says. I had been waiting to go owling with Pa for a long, long time. We reached the line of pine trees, black and pointed against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was and waited. He looked up as if searching the stars, as reading a map up there. The moon made his face into a silver mask. Then he called, "Who, who, who?" The sound of a great horned owl owl. Who, who, who. Again he called out, and then again. After each call, he was silent. And for a moment, we both listened, but there was no answer. Pa shrugged, and I shrugged. I was not disappointed. My brothers all said, sometimes there's an owl, and sometimes there isn't. We walked on. I could feel the cold as if someone's icy hand was palmed down on my back and my nose, and the top of my cheeks felt cold and hot at the same time, but I never said a word. If you go owling, you have to be quiet and make your own heat. We went into the woods. The shadows were the blackest things I had ever seen. They stained the white snow. My mouth felt furry, for the scarf over it was wet and warm. I didn't ask what kind of things hid behind the black trees in the middle of the night. When you go owling, you have to be brave. When we came to a clearing, the dark woods, the moon was high above us. It seemed so fit exactly. Over the center of the clearing, the snow below it was whiter than the milk in the cereal bowl. I sighed and Pa held up his hand at the sound. I put my mitten over the scarf, over my mouth, and listened hard. And then Pa called, "Who, who, 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 who." I listened and looked so hard my ears hurt and my eyes got cloudy with the cold. Pa raised his face to call out again, but before he could open his mouth, an echo came threading its way through the trees. Whoo, 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 whoo. Pa almost smiled. Then he called back, "Whoo, whoo, 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 whoo," just as if he and the owl were talking about supper or about the woods or the moon or the cold. I took my mitten off the scarf, off my mouth, and I almost smiled too. The owl's call came closer from high up in the tree on the edge of the meadow. Nothing in the meadow moved all of a sudden. The owl shadow, part of the big tree shadow, lifted off and flew right over us. We watched silently with heat in our mouths, the heat of all those words we had not spoken. The shadow hooted again. Pa turned on his big flashlight and caught the owl just as it was landing on a branch. That's a big owl, boy. For 1 minute, 3 minutes, maybe even 100 minutes, we stared at one another. Can you see it?
Oh, that's a neat owl. It's
Isn't it?
incredibly beautiful.
Their eyes are so big and pretty, aren't they?
Yeah.
Then the owl plumped its great wings and lifted off the branch like a shadow without sound. It flew back into the forest. "Time to go home," Pa said to me. I knew then I could talk. I could even laugh out loud, but it was a shadow as we walked home. But I was a shadow as we walked home.
What an amazing experience. To call an owl and see him like that. That's
The end.
yeah.
That
Wow.
was beautiful.
The pictures are amazing. I felt like I was out there. That was
Friends, have you ever seen an owl?
I've gone to different events, like at the library had an event. We brought some preachers in, and then also
When
a
you
rescue owl that I saw somewhere. I can't remember.
Oh,
where.
wow.
So,
When you go owling, you don't need words or warm or anything but hope. That's what Pa says.
wow.
The kind of hope that flies on silent wings under a shining owl moon.
What poetry. What poetry. Yeah. Wow.
Beautiful.
So what did you like best about it, Grandma Sonata?
I liked how they made the sounds, the owl sounds. Whoo, 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 whoo.
Yeah, I could see you really got into that.
Right. And how they waited patiently and how eventually the owl talked back to them. He said, whoo, 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 whoo. I like, I like
Yeah.
that. And I liked how the boy went with his dad.
Yeah.
And that made him spend time with his dad because evidently his other brothers had all gone. And this was his turn to go.
Probably just got old enough, but Dad waited for him to be ready. Maybe.
Yes. And I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Now we'll do Island Born by Jeanette Diaz and illustrated by Leo Espinosa. That's the front, and this is the back. It's so beautifully illustrated. Colors are gorgeous. Every kid in Lola's school was from somewhere else. Hers was the school of faraway places. Maya was from a city so big that it was like its own country. Indy and Camilla were from a stony village at the tip top of the world. Maddo had lived in the desert so hot, even the cactus fainted. Nu was born in a jungle famous for its tigers and its poets. And Lola was from the island. So when her teacher, Miss Obi, told the class, please draw a picture of the country you are originally from, your first country, and bring it in tomorrow, everyone got super excited. I'm going to put in pyramids, said Dyla, and I'll draw a canal this long, Franklin said. There's gonna be a mongoose in mine, Nelson yelled. Nelson always yelled. Lola raised her hand. She hated raising her hand almost as much as she hated Nelson's yelling. Miss, what if you don't remember where you're from? What if you left before you could start remembering? No problemino. Miss Obi said, are there people around you who do remember? Like my whole neighborhood, Lola said, and they're always talking about the island. Well then, Miss Obi started. Maybe, but Lola finished her sentence. I should talk to everyone who does remember. I should draw from their memories. That's a very good plan, Lola, Miss Obi said with a smile.
I love that. Draw from their memories.
Lola started feeling better about the assignment. But then she saw all the other kids chatting excitedly about what they were going to draw. And it made her sad. Everybody was remembering their first home, even Nelson, who forgot everything. Nelson even forgot his last name once for like an hour. Lola had always wanted to remember the island, but no matter how hard she tried, she never could. It was like a familiar word just at the tip of your tongue, but instead of a word, there was an entire world. Lola closed her eyes and tried to recall anything about the island, but nothing came up. She kept trying all through the school day. To help her focus, she put her finger on the side of her head like Abula's psychic sometimes did. Are you okay? Her cousin Latricia asked as they walked home from school together. I have to draw a picture of the island, Lola explained, but I was just a baby when we left, Prima. You have to help me remember. I don't remember a lot either, except for the bats. They were as big as blankets, and they used to chase after me at night. Blanket bats. Lola pulled out her notebook and began to sketch.
Ooh, that's some big bats.
Aren't they
Oh,
big?
yeah.
Latricia stopped Miss Bernard, who always sold them Chris expanders after school. Miss Bernard, what do you remember most about the island? Why, the music, of course. The whole country is like the inside of a gura, like the inside of a drum. You mean like our neighborhood, Lola said? The neighborhood had so much music, it was like a radio with a dial broke off. On on the island, there, there's even more music. There's more music than air, and everyone is always dancing, even in their sleep. People dance. Sleep dancing, Lola sketched.
I love it. Ah, sleep dancing. Is that sleepwalking, sleep dancing?
Right. Latricia led Lola into the barber shop that her brother Jonathan owned. Lola had to do an assignment. Lola has to do an assignment about the island. She needs to know what you remember most about it. Weepa, said Jonathan, laughing. The Agu de Coco have one had how wonderful it tastes when you drink it right from the coconut. That does sound good, doesn't it? Mr. Rodriguez sat up in his chair, and the mangoes that are the size of your head and so sweet. They make you want to cry, Lola said. She loved mangoes. That's it exactly. Mm,
Wow, making me hungry.
right. How much color there is, said the woman waiting with her son. Colorful cars, colorful houses, flowers everywhere. Even the people are like rainbows, every shade ever made. Like us in here, Lola said. Even more color, the woman said. Agu, mango heads, rainbow people. Lola was trying to keep up. The island sounds so beautiful. Why did we even leave? Well, it isn't all beautiful, the woman's son said. The heat is on you like 5 bullies.
That is on you.
Right. The oldest barber muttered, and other things. Like what? Lola wanted to ask, but the oldest barber had already turned away. In the lobby of their building, the cousin ran into Mr. Meir, the superintendent. Latricia called out, "Hey, Mr. Meir, can you tell us what you most remembered about the island?" "Nobody cares about that old stuff," Mr. Meir grumbled. "Just be glad that you live here." "Don't listen to him," Latricia said. "Keep going and call me later if you need any help, okay?" "I will," Lola said. When Lola got into the elevator, she put her finger on her temples and closed her eyes. "Island," she called, like it was a cat. "Island." But like a cat, the island did not come. At home, Lila found her Abula at the kitchen table trying to finish a puzzle. Abula loved puzzles. "Abula, I'm supposed to draw a picture of the island for school, but I don't remember it." "Why don't I remember it?" "Haja, you were just a baby when you left, but the other kids remember." "Just because you don't remember a place doesn't mean it's not in you." "Will you tell me what you remember most?" Lola asked. "Of course, what I remember most is the beaches. Hija, out our beaches are poetry. You know when you hear your favorite poem? That's how it is to be on our beaches. Fists jump from the waves into your lap. And at sunset, sometimes the dolphins will come out of the water to blow goodnight. And up north, where I'm from, there are even whales in the surf. Beaches, poetry, dolphins, surfing whales. Lola sketched as fast as she could. Lola's mother stuck her head in from the kitchen. "Hija, What I remember most is the hurricane that hit the island right after you were born, like the biggest, baddest wolf of all. It huffed and puffed and blew thousands of houses into the sky. Where were we? Lola asked, her eyes wide. We were hiding under the bed, is where we were, Abula said. That's right, her mother said. And you know what? You never cried once. You were such a brave little girl. I wish I could remember that, Lola sighed. Well, it happened, her mother said. You might not remember the island, but it remembers you.
Hmm. Yeah, under the bed.
You should really talk to Mr. Meyer, Abula suggested. He knows more about the island than almost anybody. We tried asking him, Lola said, but he didn't want to help. Mr. Meyer can be a little grumpy, little grouchy sometimes. Let me talk to Mr. Meyer. I'll bet you we can get him to help. Abula called downstairs and shouted at Mr. Meyer, who then at shouted at Miss Meyer, who then shouted at Mr. Meyer. The old people were always shouting at each other. That's how they talk. Maybe Nelson was an old person in training. Go on down, Abula said. Mr. Meyer said he would try to help. Lola was a little nervous, but that didn't stop her from knocking on the super's door. Miss Meyer let her in. Look how big you've gotten, Lola. Mr. Meyer is in the workshop. Go right on in. Mr. Meyer looked up from the contraption he was fixing. Your grandma says you've been interviewing people about the island. Lola nodded nervously. Yes, sir. It's for a class assignment. What have they told you? She flipped through her sketches. Bat blankets, more music than air, fruit that make you cry, beaches, poems, and a hurricane like a wolf. I see, Mr. Meyer said. So no one told you about the monster? Lola's eyes got wide. She shook her head. No, even those who knew don't always want to talk about him. Mr. Meyer turned toward the old worn map he had of the island. Our island has always been a beautiful place. It was when I was your age, and it is today. But even the most beautiful places can attract a monster. A long time ago, long before you were born, that's exactly what happened. A monster filled up our poor island. For once, Lola's pencil didn't move. It was the most dreadful monster anyone had ever seen. The whole island was terrified and no one could defeat it. It was just too strong. For 30 years, the monster did as it pleased. It could destroy an entire town with a single word and make a whole family disappear simply by looking at it. Lola, Lola's curly hair was uncurled with fear. Did you see the monster, Mr. Muir? Yes, all the time. Were you scared? We were all very scared.
It is a scary looking monster.
Yeah, kind of looks like a bat, doesn't it? Lola's heart was pounding. So what happened next, Mr. Muir? What should always happen to monsters? Heroes rose up, strong, smart young women, just like you, Lola, and a few strong, smart young men, too. They got tired of being afraid and fought the monster with a titanic battle that was the whole island that was. The whole island shook from their struggles. The monster tried all of its evil tricks, but in the end, the heroes found the monster's weakness and banished it forever.
Wow, what a wonderful story. Forever.
Wow, Lola whispered. What happened to the heroes? No one knows, really. It was so long ago Mr. Muir took off his glasses and sighed. Anyway, you should get back upstairs. It's getting close to dinner time. Thank you, Mr. Muir, Lola said. Thank you for all your help. How did it go? Lola's mother asked. It was really good. Lola looked at the blank page in her hands. Lola spent the rest of the night drawing the islands. She started out with one page, but she needed more room, so she added another page and then another, and soon she had a book. She worked through dinner and she worked in bed and was just finishing the last touches on the cover when her Abdullah came in to check on her.
Wow. Wow.
Abdullah picked up a drawing of the final battle, and then she got really still. Abdullah, did you know about the monster? Of course, Hija. Why do you think so many of us are here in the north? Lola put her arms around her Abdullah. You must have been so scared. Sometimes we were, her Abdullah whispered, but we were also brave.
Maybe scared and brave go together sometimes.
Yeah, yes. The next day it snowed. Lola put on her scarf and boots and scuffled and stuffed her assignment under her coat. Bidikun, Miami, Bidikun, Bula, Bidikun, Hija. They both called, "Good luck." Mr. Meyer was pushing garbage cans against the curb. "Thank you, Mr. Meyer, slayer of monsters," he laughed. "Good luck, Lola, daughter of heroes."
What are yours?
In class, all the students were buzzing about their pictures. Nelson's mother had baked cupcakes for everyone, so it was like a little party. Oh, Miss Obie hung the drawings on the wall. "Now our classroom has windows," she said. "Anytime you want to look at one another's first home, all you have to do is look out the window."
I like that.
Then Miss Obie reached Lola's desk. "So how did it go, Lola? Were you able to remember anything?" "I tried really, really hard, but nothing came, and that made me feel bad. But then I realized that I don't have to feel bad because even if I don't set foot on the island, it doesn't matter. The island is me." Nelson snorted. "That is so corny." "It is not. Nelson, be nice," Miss Obie said. She and the other students gathered around Lola's desk. Nelson made sure he got real close so he could see everything. Lola suddenly got nervous. "Go ahead, Lola, show us." "Okay," Lola said, taking a deep breath. She opened her book. And out burst the island.
Wow. Look at that. Wow. Jeez. What a picture.
Isn't that beautiful?
Wow. It's everything they told her all about. It's all there.
Yes.
The
And
whale
so
looks like it's
colorful.
well looks like it's smiling.
Yeah. The end. That was excellent.
That was a wonderful story. Well,
It was.
thank you, Grandma Sonata. This is just wonderful.
You're
Yeah.
quite welcome. I enjoyed this.
Me too. So leave us some comments. We've had some people watching on Facebook Live. Leave us some comments. Tell us which book you liked best. And thank you for checking in. And we'll be back again next week at 3:30. And also we're having Halloween at the library, 3:30 to 5:30. 4 o'clock is the haunted basement. So join us at the library for trick and treat, and again, we'll be back. Grandma reads a story next week. 3:30.
Bye, friends.
Goodbye.
And be safe. Have a safe, happy, be very safe.
Thank you.
See you, friends, next time.
Bye.
Bye.